Hi and welcome back to my new video. Today I'm sharing another spread in my handmade junk art journal. I have finished this journal in the meantime, and there might be already a flip through up as an Instagram reel. And today I'm going to do the not the last page, but there is one double spread left and then one single spread after this. I won't have a tutorial for those pages, but there will be a blog post over on our shop blog in the future. I already have some collage papers on my desk that I wanted to use. As I mentioned in previous videos, I like to limit myself a little bit regarding my supplies, so it makes it easier to decide what to use, and that makes me work a little bit quicker. And I think it's just more relaxing when you don't have to think too much about what to do and what you could use, because there are always many options. And it makes it easy if you are limited, I would say. I'm gluing down my papers with a glue stick. It's similar to other videos that I've already shared. I hope I don't bore you, but in the past weeks, I really enjoy playing with collage in my journals. And yeah, that's the reason why I'm sharing so many. I'm keeping this video in real time as I do it usually, and I hope that you enjoy this and maybe you like to play along with me in your own art journal. And if it's too slow, you can always speed up the video in the YouTube settings. There is a little gear where you can change the speed of the video. And as always, there is a blog post on my website where I'm sharing photos of the finished spread. There you can have a look at the close-up images. There is quite a mess going on my desk. You just can't see that. But I think I'm searching for something that is a paper that looks similar to the blue one I've just adhered to the page. It seems I found one. I'm using different kinds of papers. I have jelly prints, leftover paint papers, and these Chinese kind of calligraphy papers that are stamped with acrylic paints. And I really like these translucent papers. I think because of that layering you get with them, you can easily create some nice dimension in your collage. I will now cut off the overlapping paper, and then I will decide if I want to have some more papers on my page, or if I'm done with the collage part. I think I'm happy with how the page is looking at the moment at this stage. I will now add a layer of thin clear gesso, a thin layer of clear gesso, and then I will come back with some color and of course some stamping and some mark making. I'm starting with some background stamping, and I'm using some leafy images from the Pencil Marks #1 stamp set, and I just use black ink for that, as I have already some black elements on my page and really dark spots like that dark blue. I'm going to just use black so it matches the rest of the page. I lay a piece of foam underneath my page because the book is quite bulky and uneven, and it makes it a bit difficult to stamp inside. And as this is only a little bit of background stamping, I don't really mind if the image is perfect. It just should be some kind of interesting texture going on. To add color to my page, I have picked 3 different colors of the Derwent Inktense pencils, but I believe I only used 2 of them. I had one black in them, but I think I didn't use them. I have a carmine pink, I think, and this must be the sea breeze blue. And here I just made some marks to see how the color looks on the paper. What I love about the clear gesso that you can so easily go on top with any medium. Pencils work so great, and this is something I really like to have, especially when you want to create some mark making on top. I now use water and a brush, and I just move the color around. You can of course use any kind of watercolor for this. You can use other water-soluble pencils, you can use usual watercolors, you can work with brushes, for example. All the kind of transparent water-soluble mediums will work. And here you can see how the whole look of the page changes just by adding some a layer of color, a transparent layer of color, a glaze, I would say, on top of the page. And What I recommend is when you're doing it, just maybe think about how color mixes so that you don't put maybe a red over green and not a blue over orange, so you avoid creating a muddy color. And that's also really good about that clear gesso, that you can go on top with a lot of water without ruining the papers you have underneath. Here I'm going in with a baby wipe to remove some of the color, to just bring back some lighter areas, and this increases the contrast of the whole page, and that makes it more interesting, and I think it gives it also kind of an atmospheric look. I'm quickly going to heat set the page, and here it's already almost completely dry, not 100% maybe. And I'm going in with the Neocolor crayons to make some marks on my page, and I'm using matching colors, so a yellow because I have already yellow on the page. And I think I'm also going to use a pink and make some scribbly lines. I'm also going to use a usual pencil to make some more scribbly lines. This just brings in some nice and interesting texture. I think you just have to take a little bit care not to overdo it. I sometimes tend to do this, but I just made some really light marks with this. I now decided to add just a little bit of stamping on the background with that grid stamp from the Mixed Media Marks. I will not add much, just some tiny hints. And here I'm adding even more marks with a pinkish Neocolor. I really like that they are so opaque and they cover up almost everything underneath. And something that I definitely need on my page are some splatters. And again, I'm picking that tailor shape from Artgraph in white. I already used this a bunch of times in the past. And it's the whitest white I have ever seen. I would say it's even whiter than an acrylic ink. Not sure if it's possible. I like to concentrate the splatters in some areas. I think that also gives it some dimension and that kind of atmospheric look. And I just use a little bit of water and the brush to make these splatters. For my main image, I'm picking one of the sketchy leaf images that I have already stamped for a previous art journal page. This one I shared last week on my channel, and I've stamped these images to the Canson mixed media paper because it's quite smooth. I really like it for stamping, and it also takes water quite well, so it's perfect to color the images in with watercolors. I cut it out, and here I'm planning to adhere the image to my page. I'm using wet glue because that's a bit easier than the glue stick with these intricate images from more heavyweight paper. But as I was gluing it down, I thought it looks a bit empty and there is something missing. So I decided to remove this image again to put some kind of a bottom underneath the image, and then I'm going to glue it down again. I'm just searching for some tiny bits of paper that are laying around me. I also decided to stamp over the collage pieces underneath my focal image just with one of these stitching borders from the Mixed Media Marks stamp set. And I'm going to finish up the page by adhering a sentiment. These words are from our Mix Sentiment stamp set. I will share a photo of the finished spread at the end of this video, and I hope you have enjoyed the process. I wish you a lovely weekend, and hopefully we will see us next time. Bye!